Okay, we are at number 1, intensive practice 1.3. In the arrow diagram on the right, the function f maps x to y and the function g maps y to z. From x goes to y under f, under g it will maps y to z. Here 2, 5 and 8. Okay. Determine A f2. F2 means what is the image of 2? So the image of 2 under f is 5. So f2 equals 5. B g5, under g it will maps 5 to 8. So the answer will be 8. C gf2. gf2 it looks like from 2 goes to 5 under f. Actually it is under g, from 5 it goes maps 5 to 8. This gf2, actually 2 is under f first, like this. Then under f it goes to 5 under g will be maps to 8. So gf2 equals 8. Okay, so for example, if you ask me what is fg2, I do not know. Okay, so if the diagram under f, then g, the way you write is gf. Alright. D, inverse of 5. Okay, so under f it will maps 2 to 5. Under inverse it will map 5 to 2. Understand? Okay, so the answer is 2. So E, inverse of 8 under G. So G will maps 5 to 8. So it will the inverse of G will maps 8 to 5. And then F, inverse of G, inverse of 8. So this one you have to understand, under inverse of G, because this one you have to do first. Under inverse of G, it will maps just like E, it will maps 8 to 5. So under 5, under inverse of F, it will maps 5 to 2. Okay, so the answer is 2. Number 2, by applying the horizontal line test, determine whether each of the following function has an inverse function. Okay, so you hold your ruler like this for A. Okay, so does it the straight line touch the curve at 2 points? Not so far. Okay, okay, for A, so it doesn't touch the curve at 2 points at one time, so it has an inverse function. Okay, test the B1 from top. So far it doesn't touch. Okay, I'm talking about this line, doesn't touch the curve at 2 points. So far it touches the curve of the graph at only 1 point. Okay, so this one also have does have an inverse function. Okay, now C, when I tick like this, it touches the graph at 3 points. Okay, so this is not a one-to-one function, so it does not have an inverse function. Okay. Number 3, the diagram below shows the graph of one-to-one functions f. In each case, sketch the graph of inverse of f, hence state the domain for inverse of f. So the image for 0, 0 will still be 0, 0. The image for I'm talking about this coordinate, under inverse will be 2, 4. Okay, 2, 4. 2, 4 will be around here. Okay, so it will, if you draw a line of y equals x, which is a line like this is y equals x. So the curve, okay, this one will be on the top, the under inverse will be like this, goes there. All right, so this line will go like that, so the coordinate will be 2, 4. Okay, and then state the domain. So the domain for x is between 0 and 4, but then the domain for inverse, so this is y equals inverse of f. Okay, so the domain for x for the inverse will be x is between 0 and 2. Okay, then look at B. Y equals x is like this. Y equals I. Okay, in case that you do not remember, what is relationship between f and the inverse of f? Actually, inverse of f is the reflection of f under y equals x. Okay, so the under f, this coordinate is 2, 0. 2, 0. Under inverse will be 0, 2. Under function, this coordinate is 0, 4. Under inverse function, it will be 4, 0. 4, 0. So we just connect them, draw a straight line between them. Okay, so this is y equals inverse of x. So the domain for inverse of f will be between, the smallest is 0, the highest is 4. It's between, including 0 and 4. And last one, C. It will start from here, 0, 0. Okay, we draw y equals x. Y equals x easy. Make sure that we'll divide these two lines into 2 equal parts. So y equals x. So you will start from 0, 0. If you have the line, so that is the inverse line. Okay, this is 4, 8, and become 8, 4. So let's say here is 8 and 4 will be here. So that is the curve. So the curve will be like this. Okay, not very nice. Okay, like that. Okay, in case you are not sure, make sure you can draw 1, 2, 3 until 8, 1, 2, 3 until 8. Then you can get the better value. Okay, so that's all for number 3. Okay, number 4. Fx is 2x plus 3 over x minus 3. X is not equals 3, and given f4 equals to 13. 4 is object, 13 is image. How to find the value of h? Okay, so the 4 you replace where x is equal to 13. So 2 times 4 plus h over 4 minus 3 equals 13. Okay, that is the first step. You replace object where x is and equals to the image given. Alright, so 4 minus 3 equals to 1. So whatever divided by 1 will still be whatever. So we just ignore that. 2 times 4 will be 8. So 8 plus h equals 13. So h equals to 13 minus 8, which is 5. Okay, so we have got the value of h as 5. Then B, F inverse of F 3. Okay, there are two ways to do it. If under function 3 is the, if this is, okay, this is object, this is image X and Y. Okay, so in this case, under inverse, Y is object, X is image. So 3 is here. Okay, so because we are given the function 3 is object for the inverse, at the same time is also image for the object. Image for the function. Okay, so we do not have to find the inverse function in case these are numbers. If let's say it's algebra also, that is a different method. So you have to first replace h as 5, so function will be 2x plus 5 over x minus 3. That is the function. Okay, so this 3 is just like 30 just now, so equals to 3. Okay, this is a simple way how to do. Okay, jadi so we say 2x plus 5 equals 3, x minus 3, move everything this side, and then multiply, which is 3x minus 9. So this is 2x plus 5. Move all the algebra to one side, because this is smaller than this. I bring all the algebra to right side. So 5 here will be 5 plus 9, negative 9, move. Alright, so 3x minus 2x will be 1x, which is x. So the value of x will be 14. Okay, so okay, under inverse, 3 will maps to 14. Okay, so the other way is that you find the inverse function. Okay, I think I should do it for you. This is one way. The other way is that we have to say let y is 2x plus 5 over x minus 3. Okay, so some teacher will switch the places because of the concept of x maps to y. Okay, but I just use this way. 2x plus 5, change the subject, so xy minus 3y equals 2x plus 5. I want x as a subject, so I bring the 2x here, so xy minus 2x equals 3y plus 5. So factorize x, so x y minus 2 equals to 3y plus 5, and move this y minus 2, it will go down here. Therefore, inverse of x will be 3x plus 5 over x minus 2. Okay? And under inverse, they want you to replace x as 3. So inverse 3, replace x as 3. 3 times 3 plus 5 over 3 minus 2 will be 9 plus 5 will be 14. 14 over 1, it will be 14. Okay, see, the answer is still the same, but it takes longer to finish this question. Okay, right. Now, look at C. The value of m when inverse f equals 2. Okay. F negative 1, m equals 2. Okay, so using that theory again, that is, if X is here, you will map under F. Okay, I will draw the inverse also. Under inverse is here. Okay, so in this case, because the arrow goes here, so the object for the inverse will be the value here, which is in this case is M. Under so the image will be 2. Okay, so without finding the inverse, but if you choose to find the inverse, you just use the one that we did for B just now. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going, because we have one of this number, so so I will just use the understanding. Under inverse, M is object, 2 is image. Under function, 2 is object, then this is image. So I just write down F2 equals M. Okay, because we have X already. Alright, so F2 replace 2, where X is 2 times 2 plus 5 just now, because okay, then 2 minus 3 equals M. So since the algebra is there, you don't have to move it around. Just calculate 2 times 2, 4, 4 plus will be 9, 9 over -1. So the value of M will be -9. Okay, so that's all for number 4. Oh yeah, number 4. Okay, number 5. Inverse of H is given as 2 over 3 minus X. X is not equal to 3. Find the function H. Okay, so using the method, this is X, we will map into Y under H or on the inverse. Okay, so in this case is under inverse, we maps X to Y. So function Y will maps to X. Okay, so we just say 2 over 3 minus Y equals X. Okay, so replace Y here, right? Then you change the subject. Now the subject is X, make the subject as Y. So 2 equals X times 3 minus Y. 2 equals 3x minus xy. And factorize y. Oh no, no need. So there's only one y here. So I just move xy here. 3x minus 2. So y is 3x minus 2 over x. Okay, so since okay, so as simple as you just write down inverse of x, or inverse h is 3x minus 2 over x. Okay, so that's for A. About for B, the values of x, B values of x such that hx equals 2. Oh, okay, sorry, this is not inverse, but the function h is up. Okay, so B will be, they want you to find x, where hx equals 2. So since we only know the function h, I'm not going to do the understanding part of it. So see, we have it already. Okay, what I mean by understanding is that object under function, image under function. So under in function, this is object, this is image. But because we have this, so we just use this. Okay, so replace x where yeah, x is, no need to replace anything, equals to 2. Object and image under H, because we have H already. So we say 3x minus 2 over x equals 2. So cross multiply, so 3x minus 2 equals 2x. Cross, you multiply, then move all the x, 3x minus 2x equals 2. Negative 2, move to the side, become positive 2. So 3x minus 2x will be 1x, so x will be 2. So, is there any more? Okay, let's we finish number 5. Okay, question 6. Fx equals 4x minus 17. Gx equals 5 over 2x minus 7. Solve the equation inverse of x, inverse of f equals inverse of g. What is the value? We are talking about what is the value of x that when we substitute into the inverse will be equals to the x that when we will substitute into the g. Okay? So, we do not have inverse of f and inverse of g. So, we have to find that first. I'll do my preferred way. I just say let y equals 4x minus 17. I just make x as a subject. So move 17 and move 4. So it become y plus 17 over 4 equals x. So inverse of f will be x plus 17 over 4. Then inverse of g, let y equals 5 over 2x minus 7. Cross multiply, so y multiplied by 2x minus 7 equals 5. Expand the bracket, 2xy minus 7y equals 5. And we want to leave x here alone. Okay, so move that negative 7y first. So 5 plus 7y. So here will be still 2xy. And x say I want to stay alone. So he keep 2 and y. So 5 plus 7y over 2y. Therefore, the inverse of g will be 5 plus 7x over 2x. Okay, now only we can solve this equal to this. Okay, since space constraint, I will do here. So we say x plus 17 over 4 equals 5 plus 7x over 2x. Cross multiply. Here multiply to this. So 2x multiplied with x plus 17. 4 multiplied with 5 plus 7x. You multiply everything, you get 2x squared. Okay, 2x squared plus 17x equals 20 plus 28x. Okay, make it into general form, that is equal to 0, and rearrange 2x squared in order to save space. Just minus 17 minus 28, 28 move to the side. 17 minus 28 will be negative 11. And then move 20, become negative 20. I believe this should be, we should be able to factorize. So, using the quadratic function, A will be 2, B will be negative 11, C will be negative 20, so far I think the answer is not correct. if there anything that I might have make correction, x 17 to x. Oh, okay. The correction is here. Okay, 2x times 17 will be 34x. Then 34 minus 28, so this is also wrong. Will be 6x minus 20. Okay, so in this case, since I know everything can be divided by 2, I will simplify that. If you just use calculator without simplifying, it's still you get the same answer. So since I believe the answer will be integer form. Okay, let's try again. So A is 1, B is 3, and C is -10. Aha. Okay, so the answer now is x equals 2 and x equals -5. So for the because we have 1 mark here, if you do the factorization, you have to understand here is x plus 5, here will be x minus 2. How do I get it? Because of this method. Okay, let me show you for revision. X squared will be here, x squared. So x squared means x times x, and then 3x will be here, -10 will be here. We want to two number multiply, you get -10. So in this case will be 5 and 2. So in order to make this 3, let me multiply it. X times 5 will be 5x, x times 2 will be 2x, but we want only this, so we want to this negative, so I put negative here. So because we plus, you get it. Okay, so the factorization is x plus 5, x minus 2. Okay, so we finish with number 6.